Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to World War II In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Lewis gun, better known as the Lewis light machine gun in this game, a weapon that was in service in both World War I and World War II, and one of my favorite light machine guns, period. I think I just kind of like the light machine gun class. I don't get to use them a lot, but they're so dirty when you're just a little bit more patient with them. But this one is a light machine gun among light machine guns. The damage will be 40 up close, decreasing to 30 at a distance, meaning that it is 3 to 4 shots to kill, which is perfect for a light machine gun, and it has a headshot damage of 1.1x, which means that headshots won't matter like most of the other guns in this game. And like most of the other light machine guns, the 3-shot kill range, or the maximum damage range, is extremely high at 127 meters, so it's basically always a 3-shot kill unless the enemy is super far away, they have the spawn protection armor, they're behind cover, or something kind of like that. Unlike the MG15, the rate of fire is not that spectacular at 517 rounds per minute, and with rapid fire that'll go up to 556 rounds per minute. This is normal for a light machine gun though, so inside of its class it makes sense, and this is right at about the barrier to where enemies will have the ability to kind of wobble and sidestep and walk between your bullets. It's not like the Waft where if you just swipe it over them it will hit them. This time they kind of can squeak between your bullets, which is very annoying. Time to kill will be slightly on the faster side of average if you hit 3 shots in a row. If you just 1, 2, 3 people, you'll kill them faster than most of the rifles in the game and on par with most of the submachine guns. However, due to the slow rate of fire, when you start missing shots, that time to kill is going to go way up and be way slower. I find that this usually beats rifle users who challenge me at range, and by range I would say medium range, long range, a range that is most appropriate for a light machine gun or a rifle. I will beat most people using rifles. My accuracy is better, my damage is better, my time to kill is better, it's very easy to use. However, due to the slow rate of fire, I end up getting crushed up close. People that rush me with submachine guns, people that rush in with the Volk or the STG or the bar or something, usually are able to snap aim and hip fire me into the ground. Thankfully, the recoil is very low on this variant, which makes it very easy to use. I think that this is one of the easiest to control recoils in the entire game, and I have no issues using it whatsoever with or without a foregrip, mounted, unmounted, running, sprinting, sidestepping, anything, and I think that most of you will be able to master this recoil as well. It does have some vertical recoil. It's not a perfect laser, but it is vertical and it is super easy to pull down and control, and what makes it easier is that it goes along with the iron sights. The kick is identical to the iron sights, and the base iron sights are okay. The foresight's pretty clear. It's a thin little bar with a tiny dot that I can aim with. There is the goofy obstruction on the side, which I find frustrating, but the LANDSHIP iron sights are godly, and the variant you're watching me use for most of the gameplay is the LANDSHIP variant. I got most of my gameplay in war mode just because this gun is top tier in war mode, and defensive gameplay and styles work best for it. Not to say that it can't be used in other game modes, but war is really the one you want to break it out. But back on topic, the LANDSHIP iron sights are incredibly good. There's none of the side obstructions, and I don't normally recommend particular variants on in-depth because not everybody can get them, but the LANDSHIP variant you get at level 11 social score. So this is one that you can grind toward, this is one that you can work toward. I think a lot of you that have been prestiging your divisions and opening drops and participating in daily challenges and stuff probably are already at an 11 social score, and if you're not, you should be rather close. So this is one you can get for free and grind for, and it is miles better than the base variant. It's better than, honestly, than the reflex sight or the ACOG sight, so there's no point in using anything but the default optics on the weapon. Hipfire is workable if you're prone, but it's not as good as the MG15 due to the rate of fire. So if you're prone, you can probably hose people, and mathematically speaking, it has the same width, the same spread, the same everything else that the MG15 does. So the box is the same size. Unfortunately, the rate of fire is slower, so people tend to kind of walk between your bullets, and if you miss your bullets, it's more punishing. It's just not as forgiving or easy to use, so I generally don't recommend it unless you're going to kind of prone out in a doorway and hose people. Sprint out time is 300 milliseconds, like most of, well, I'm not actually going to say most, wait till you see the other light machine guns. We'll just say like the MG15 sprint out time is 300 milliseconds. Aim down sights time, I got some anomalies in measurement. I kept getting 330 milliseconds. I believe I may have a frame rounding issue. That is most likely going to be 350 or same as the MG15, but that is the one that I kept pulling right there. So again, aim down sights and sprint out times are about the same with each other, and they're going to be a little bit slower than assault rifles and a little bit slower than submachine guns, so probably not the best gun to rush really hard hard with. Idle sway's not an issue at all on this one, thankfully. The magazine is glorious, though. The base magazine, you get 47 rounds in, which is quite big, the biggest except, I believe, for the MG42. That's enough to kill many people without reloading. But if you run extended mags, you get 97, and as our president would say, it's huge, it's tremendous. That is an enormous magazine. That pretty much means you don't need to reload. So extended mags may not always be necessary. Most of the time they're probably not necessary, but they sure are fun, because when you have a 97 round mag, you almost never need to reload, and if you do need to reload, you've probably killed about 10 or 15 people. You've got a ton of reserve ammo, and speaking of reloading, the reload time is 4.5 seconds, 2.9 for Hustle, which is fast for a light machine gun. It's slow compared to everything else, but it's the fastest in the light machine gun class. None of the other light machine guns reload this fast, and if you mount it on a bipod in the armored division, it will reload even faster than that. As for my thoughts and recommendation on the Lewis gun, it is a true LMG for LMG fans, and it is by far the best with armored. You may have noticed that the gameplay for this episode is simple, it's campy, it's conservative, it's primarily based on Operation Breakout on War, and that is because this is just a real light machine gun. Low recoil, long range, low rate of fire, slow reload time, terrible handling for the most part. It works really well if you set up in camp or play conservative with it. It works really bad if you rush with it. This is a type of weapon that many of you have used in many Call of Duty games before, and I don't believe bears a lot of explanation, and it's best if you just treat it like the gun it is. I don't have anything fancy or crazy for you today. The recommendation is armored, quick draw, extended mags, and hustled. Armor's straightforward, so you get the bipod, you can reload fast and mount it if you need to, resistances as well. Hustle helps you on the reload. Quick draw helps you make it a little bit more snappy, and extended mags, again, helps you avoid some downtime. If I weren't going to run extended mags on it, because that's not necessary all the time, I would say that instead I would probably be running either FMJ or rapid fire, just kind of depending on what you need, but either way is fine. Quick draw is probably the only attachment that you truly need. Guys, that's all for this short, sweet, and simple episode of In Depth. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something useful, and I hope that you hold on to your butts, because the next one's going to be on the Bren. Oh my lord, the Bren. That's going to be a fun one. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out. If you want all the weapon stats for World War II in your pocket to go, then look no further than the Ultimate Utility app by Brass Monkey. It's available on iOS and Android. There are links in the description, or you can just search for it in the App Store.